We're here with Valentina at the London Calling before the concerts here in Brussels. So Valentina, first of all, what about the name Mushy? Where does it come from?
The name Mushy has, for me, has no meaning exactly. I choose it for the sound of the word. And I didn't know when I started. I didn't know how much if it could be or could have a meaning, just the sound. And I used before making music just for doing as a nickname or alter ego of my artistic stuff I was doing in that period. And then when I started to make music, for me it was so natural to use the same name because it was a kind of groaning of myself.
Okay. And when did you discover that you were going to be a musician in your life?
I discovered, of course, I was always involved in music as a listener or fan. I got lots of friends playing when I was a teenager, something like this. But I never thought about to start to play music.
Your parents were really into music.
Yeah. I was lucky because they were not into pop music or something really commercial. I was really lucky that I started to make my music culture with underground stuff or rock or something like this. So I grew up with this kind of sounds, and after I started at 18, 19 to make music, and just alone and no influence by anyone, no, just maybe some friends just play the guitar, just play the bass, no, never. Just one day I woke up and I found a way to express myself in music, and I started like this, and was so natural.
Instinctive.
Yeah, I didn't think I want to start to make music, never.
Yeah.
That's happened that day, so I continued.
And it was the music that appears on your first cassettes?
Yeah.
So it was more experimental?
Yeah, like this. Because in that period I was more involved and really curious about industrial music, concrete music, and also I started not using synthesizer but using object to make sounds.
Oh, yeah.
And
like what object?
Everything I could find because I started and I had nothing.
Like Einstürzende Neubauten a little bit.
Yeah. And for me it was I had that kind of connection. So I had no way to record my stuff, and I used the camera for making the video, and then I take off the sound because I have no microphone, nothing, and it was so primitive. And for me, I became back to a child that's making the first steps.
Yeah.
And after I found a way to express more, and I used the synthesizer and guitars and other stuff. But for me, as not being really studying music, something like this, for me it's always a discover. So I want to go always over, and not want to stay in the same point.
Do you know more about music now? I mean, the theory?
No, about notes, yeah, but it's like experience. But I know it's from this experience.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have any lessons because I knew that something could be corrupted of my feelings.
You're self-taught.
Yeah, the only things I took just for living is some vocal lessons because I'm using my body, and if I don't use so well, I could destroy myself also.
Oh yeah. And then the first full-length album was, I think, Faded Heart.
Yeah. And before I had CDR tapes. But I had the opportunity with the first release to made it on vinyl, but I didn't want because I knew that was not the best way to. For me, vinyl is the best things you can have.
Yeah.
So you have to put something really good. And when I did Faded Heart, I say I want vinyl and I want no CD or think about release another format.
You thought it was mature enough?
I thought that, that maybe for all the artists thinking, I want a vinyl, and they say, okay, let's do it. But for me, I like kind of respect of the vinyl.
Yeah. And at that time, did you know about that Can Dance and Cocktail Twins and all those things? Yeah. So you feel there is a link somehow?
Yeah, I really like it. Of course, my voice, the use of what I use my voice really close to Lisa Gerrard because I like powerful voice and
lyrical.
Lyrical. In fact, I started to study lyrica for the voice, and I like a lot.
Did the exercise with your breath, etc.?
Yeah.
And now it's breathless.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And I like more, not higher voice, but low voice, of course, Lisa Gerrard, but especially favorite ones are black voices, like Nina Simone, Maya Jackson.
Okay.
I would like to have a voice like this.
Yeah. And then let's talk a bit about Breathless, your latest full-length LP, which is one of the best of the 2013, I think.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's very good. So how do you describe the evolution that you've been through?
Of course, after Faded Heart, I started to, because Faded Heart is my full length with using synthesizer and the drum machine. Before I did it, but was not complete. And after Faded Heart, I want to go over to improve in more arrangements, changing this, and I started to do this at home. I did all the demo of Breathless, and then I had the help of Alessandro Adriani from a mannequin that gave me a really good help for sound design because he got a really good studio of analog synthesizer. So we recorded everything in his studio, and he did sound design effects, and he managed all the drum machine. Always taking my idea, not going over or putting something more. And after we decided to put also something more like guitar bass and electric guitar. And I had the help of two great musicians, Alessio Schiavi, that he also plays an avant-garde from new wave band from Rome, and another guy on guitar is more involved into post-rock. And I think was together we could work really good.
And you also had one track together with Rudy Tambala from Arcane.
Yeah, and that happened just for we didn't decide anything, but I saw that in his fan page on Facebook, he put my fan page, like, check it, it's really good music. And at the beginning I was thinking it was a fan page, and then when I thought that no, it's really, and was so excited about this and so honored that someone else really could feel. And then we started to chat, to talk, and I asked him if he wanted to collaborate, and was I will do it if you want to work with me. And so he did it, and right now I have to give to him something. So we are working for this.
Working now.
And I have also a great time with him in London. When I went to play there, he came, and it was really great time.
And what was his contribution basically? Guitar?
He put the guitar on my life so far, and also some synthesizer and effects.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just let I give him the track only with the bass line and some parts and the voice, and he did all the rest. It was really great.
And he plays also on the version on the album, huh?
No, only for
only on the single.
Yeah, only on the
second.
Si.
On the second track of the single.
Si.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. And then a question, because you said that your father was a big fan of progressive music.
Yeah.
And I noticed in your song, in the instrumental, Always Found and Always Lost, something about progressive music from the 70s, and even some Tangerine Dream and Crucials.
I really love them. And that track is in an album just, I did it one night, just improv, and I did Always Found, Always Lost. And after I wanted to work on it to make something more, because it's just a bass with only one synthesizer and some chords. And at the end I was thinking it was really good like this because it was really direct feeling.
So you didn't change much?
No, I didn't do anything else. I just recorded track and put directly on the album before mastering, of course, but doing like this.
A bit like the way they used to do in the 70s, huh? It was a lot of improvisation when they were playing live. It was really on the fly that they were playing, without...
and also it's the only track from the album that's really directly, because all the tracks I recorded as a demo and then I recorded back in the studio. And that one is really the point that connect me to the past. My past albums, and I really like it.
And what is the response to the album up to now? Do you feel that it's...
I had such great feedback from magazine and the people, and what I like that when I started to play live with the Breathless album, I had such great, was really great, happy because people just came to me and say sometimes it's better live than album. And for me it's the best thing I can hear, because I don't like that live set could sound the same as the album. Like make a copy.
What do you change?
I change
the mix?
Yeah, the mix and sometimes arrangement and arrangement. And the sounds and also drum machine. I want something, even if it's, of course, I'm playing alone and it's a bit less, because I cannot do everything, but I like to put something different.
An added value. Okay. And what about the cover that you did of Snowy Red's Baby Tonight on the wonderful compilation?
Oh yes, really
album.
Wonderful. And when Michael asked me to do asked me to do it, I was so happy. And of course I knew the stuff from Snowy Red. And at the beginning I was feeling strange because most of the stuff are more into minimal synth, so different from my stuff. And but when I listen Baby Tonight, I say okay, it's just for me. I cannot choose anything else. I could do it to make something different, but for me it's perfect.
And it suits your style perfectly.
And also Michael Thier, when I told him was the track I chose to say, I was pretty sure that he wanted to do this.
He told me that he expected you to do it. You were on the same level.
We didn't talk, but at the end we had the same idea.
Great minds think alike.
Si.